He said to me, quite innocently, I am a very highly educated person, and that doesn't make any sense to me. You know, I thought I was hearing something out of some fairy tale. A highly educated person, and when I said it in so simple a manner, have you found the cause of the phenomena of life? The cause of the phenomena, I mean all phenomena, and that is beyond her capacity to grasp it. And she tells me she's a very highly educated person. But then it flashed into my mind a little story that I know is fictional, but you see, there's no fiction in this world. If imagining creates reality and you conjure a story, don't think it's going to remain as a story, it's going to become a fact. But across this country, in every city where Norman Vincent Peale visits, he always tells this little story, that I met a great intellectual. And how do you know that I did? He told me that he did. Well, she tells me that she is among the intelligentsia. How would I know? Well, she told me. And yet she couldn't understand a simple little statement when I said, by have you found him, I mean, have you found the source, the cause of the phenomena of life? For it is really your own wonderful human imagination. Then she hung up. And then I went back to bed. So here I'm telling you, when you find David, you're going to find yourself. And when you find yourself, you're going to discover you're all imagination. That's all that you are, your infinite imagination. That imagining creates reality. So everything in this world first was imagined before it became fact. Just like that silly little story that Peale tells just to get a laugh. He gets a huge big audience, and he always pulls that little story. Whether it ever happened to him or not, I don't know. But I thought until now it was all fiction. But if you can't have fiction for too long, if imagining creates reality. It starts as fiction, but it becomes fact. And I have the tangible proof last Saturday night. To me, it's a fact. If I told that story from here to the coast, back east, I would not be telling a little fictional story. I'd be actually telling what happened to me last Saturday night. And this one clears, I am a very, very highly educated person. And that means nothing to me. But I'm quite sure that anyone out of grammar school seeking for the cause of the same things happening in their world, if I take it in their own language, but I put it because she is such a wonderful person, I said, all right, have you found the cause of the phenomena of life? Something happened to you today. You expect things to happen tomorrow, and things happened last year. Do you know why they happened? Can you trace the happening, the event, to a source and find that source? Because by him all things were made. I didn't tell her that last night because I wasn't giving a lecture. But all things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that is made. Well, if that is true, well, then he's responsible for the good and the evil, for everything in this world. Because I actually came into this world, and to do it, I had to eat of the tree of knowledge, of good and evil. And so if anything happens to me that is unlovely, then I did it. If it's lovely, I did it. No matter what happens to me, I did it. But my search here is to find my son. My son came down into the world. And who is my son? He is my power. He is my wisdom. And how did he die? Read the story. He was found hanging on a tree, hanging on the oak tree. And then they took 3 darts and pierced his heart, so that he sure he was dead. And when they were sure that he was dead, he was the peace of his father. Not a peace, something came out of him. He was the peace. Shalom is the word. You greet in the Hebraic world the shalom. Shalom aleichem. Peace be unto you. And he was the shalom of his father, the peace of his father. And then the peace was shattered through his death. He was hanging on a tree. Well, what tree? Well, this is the tree. There is no other tree, no other cross on which Christ is buried. Christ is buried on humanity. And here he hangs, and the heart has been pierced. But now the Father will come and redeem us. For unless I die, thou canst not live. But if I die, I shall arise again, and thou with me. Wouldst thou love one who never died for thee, or ever die for one who had not died for thee? And if God dieth not for man, and giveth not himself eternally for man, man could not exist. So God died. God comes down into the world and takes on the limitation of man to find himself, his son, among man. And one day he finds him. One day the little tomb opens, and he comes out first. And then, 5 months later, an enormous explosion where his son was buried. And then the son comes out and stands before him. But in this time, he really is victorious, because he holds in his hand the head of the giant, the Philistine giant that he brought down. And you, the father, you are so in love with the beauty of your son. You're looking at him, and he who calls you to weep and to cry out, "O Absalom, my son, would I had died instead of thee." And so you died, and through your death, you raised him up, and he stands before you, your everlasting son. So you kept your promise, your everlasting love, through all the horror you had to go to redeem him. And that's what we're doing here now. In spite of all the horror of the world, that's what we're doing. And you'll reach a point in time, may I tell you, that you'll become completely unafraid. Not a thing in this world could move you, for you know who you are. So when I went back to bed on Saturday night, had a sung night with lovely teaching and lovely revelation. As I came back, it was 5 in the morning. And here as I was awaking at 5, I heard the clock strike 5. And I came from this experience. Now, everything in this world is but a symbol. Everything, no matter what it is a symbol. And it contains within itself the capacity for symbolic significance. When you find the Son, you recognize him. So Philip really did not know that he found him. That I have found him of whom Moses in the law and the prophets wrote. You could not have found him